Okay, this is double volume trading, and this is on the uptrend part of it. I've already done the downtrend part of it. I mean, I've learned more about the downtrend this time, but I'm going to do the uptrend now. So I finished the uptrend part of it. So if you look at my indicators here and compare the uptrends indicators with the downtrend indicators, you notice that the downtrend ones are got more red up here. The uptrend doesn't have green up here. The top row is the long-term trend line, and that's kind of what you're looking for. Um, okay, so if it's red, this top row up here is red for downtrend. That means it's downtrend. Over here in the uptrend part, you're looking for green. There are cases where you'll have red on the long-term trend, and then the next row is the green short-term trend. That's acceptable too. So comparing uptrend to downtrend, um, that's the main thing. The second thing to note is that you have, well, all these cases, you get blue triangles. Blue means lots of volume. You have two in a row, like this would be a 1 minute candle, 1 minute. That means 2 candles in a row that are really high volume. That's important. So that means something's going to happen. So the downtrend, you'll have two blues triangles. Uptrend, you have 2 blue triangles. That's the trigger for you to think about getting in. It's not your enter point, but your trigger. In other words, trying to figure out when to get in. So for the downtrend, you're looking for a red and a green. This here is the momentum row, and red means down, and then green means up. So it's basically going to come down and come back up. And that for the uptrend, it's you got more scenarios to look at. You could have that same scenario. You have green and red and green, or you could have green and this one would be red and green. And on uptrend, you could have the same thing, but more than likely you'll have a green and red. Or you'll have a green and black and a black and green. The black means that it's basically neutral as far as momentum goes. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's neutral. So basically when you see a green and a black, or a black and green, it's going to probably go down a little bit and then come back up. So that's one of the big differences between an uptrend and a downtrend. If you look at a uptrend, it's going like this, and when you see the double blue volume indicators, and you see the triggers that are long-term momentum, if it goes down at all, it's going to go down a little bit and then come back up, and you're waiting for it to cross that resistance line, made by the 2 double volumes. Whereas over here in a downtrend, you'll see these 2 blue volumes, and the price will tend to drop down more and then come back up more. Again, you're waiting for it to come back past this line before you enter the trade. So those are the 2 big differences. So let's go look at some. In some situations, you see, okay, this will be like a triple volume. No shadow. And sometimes double volumes, but notice that in a triple volume, if the last two are red, that means it's going down. Don't wait, it's going down. You know it's going down, big time. If you see 2 green momentums, it's going up. And here's a weird situation. You have the 2 blue volumes in the middle separated by a green triangle volume. A red. That's red. Red triangle. That means low volume. So this would be high volume, blue, red, low volume, high, again, high blue, and both momentums are green. So this is basically saying we're going up, we're going fast. It doesn't matter if you're an uptrend or downtrend. These 3 different scenarios are good. You might also run across this thing where you have 2 blues, like high volumes, 2 double volumes, and then you'll have like black momentums. Black is sort of neutral. What I mean, and when this happens, that's not a trigger. Don't even think about entering. It means it's going sideways. It's going sideways. Okay, so on a downtrend, you'll get these this indicator, the downtrend indicator here, or it could even be two red ones. I don't even show that example, but you could have, instead of having a red green, you could have a red red, and then you draw the resistance line. You wait for it to come down and come back up again. And once you come back up again, now you're looking to enter the trade, to do a short, and you have a single blue triangle with a red momentum, and then it's going to go down, boom. And then you want to exit, you look for a green momentum with a blue, and then you'll exit. So that's your profit right there. For an uptrend, it's a little bit different. Again, you'll see your two double volumes as your trigger, and then you'll see some combination of like green green or green black or black green. You might even see a green red, and it might go. It usually goes, if it goes down at all, it's just going to go down a little and comes back up, and you're waiting for it to come up past this line. Sometimes on an uptrend, it doesn't go down at all. It just goes. This thing occurs and just goes up. If that happens, it's okay. You can get ready to enter the trade. So what you're looking to enter the trade in this one is a single blue with a green, right? And then you exit it on like a blue volume, single blue volume with a red momentum. All right, so let's go look at an example. So this is the beginning of the day, and during the beginning of the day, it's kind of volatile. It really just started, goes boom, it starts down here and starts going up, and you don't really know where the trend started. And a little bit tricky. Is this going down or is it going back up again? And so basically this little, you got two blues here. Here's your double volume, and if it's a downtrend, you're looking for a red green, but this is a green red. Remember, over here it's red green. But this is, if it's a downtrend, this is really this is green red instead of a red green, so that wouldn't be a very good sign for a downtrend. It might be a sign for an uptrend, but if you look at this thing, you really don't know yet. So the trend's not really established, and if this is an uptrend, the top row would have been green here. So since the top row is red, it's not an uptrend yet, not an established uptrend, but yet the indicators down here, green and red instead of red green, that means it's not the type of momentum setup that you're looking for. You're looking for red green. That makes sense. So this is basically don't trigger here. It's probably because it's way too early in the day. It's at only a half hour of the day has gone by, and it's not enough time to set up the, for most first hour of the day is usually volatile. So we're in the volatility part. So now we're going along and we're looking for another entry point. And here we have 3 in a row, 3 blue triangles, 3 volumes in a row. And really, it's double. You're looking at the last 2. And the last 2 is a black momentum and a green momentum. And that qualifies, if you look back over here, for an uptrend. See, you got black and green or green and black. So this is a legitimate trigger right here. Is a little bit of trigger, and we draw our line from the trigger points, and you'll notice that this candle here, the next candle falls below it, and then a candle after it goes back up and touches that line right there. It's close to the same place before, even if it was a little bit lower. So, and you have a U symbol here. If we go up to the top, the indicators, we have again the blue volume, single blue volume, and a green momentum. So this is our entry point. So we want to enter here, but in reality we have to wait for that candle to finish. So our entry point is in reality going to be the next candle in, which is right here. So we would enter here, so I started this green line upwards. And it's going up, and we're looking for an exit sign. The exit sign is we don't care about we don't care about red or black triangles. Those are the volumes. We're looking for a blue volume. Now there's a blue volume right here, and it's a green momentum above it. So what that's saying is it's still going to go up. Now it does do a pullback, and we're not too worried about the pullback because it's low trading black and red volume. We're looking for a blue bar, and the first blue bar is right there. The blue triangle, I mean. So we'll see what that is. Oh, okay, we started up. Here's our first. We're going up, and okay, there's a blue. I have to make it bigger. A blue triangle, but it's a black momentum, so that's okay. We don't exit yet. Here's a blue and a green. We're looking for a red, so that's okay. Now we got a blue volume and a red, and that's a good sign for an exit. And we can exit here, right there. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I like to get more confirmation, and so if you look over here, there's a D here, so this would be a good place to exit, which would be the next candle, which should be right there. So that's where we exit, right there, or we could exit on that one. It really didn't matter because it's really exited the same place. So that's one trade that day, and this one is 34.60 to 34.90. That's a 60 cents. So that's almost a 2% gain right there. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a 30-cent gain. So that would be a 1% gain right here. So in the meantime, we're going up on this trade, and we got another trigger right here. We got our my notes say red green, but it's not a red green. It's a black. Black green. A black green, and that's a legitimate. That's that one, black green. So that's a legitimate trigger. And so this is a legitimate trigger, and now what we're looking for is first thing is for it to break the line. And this one broke the line, but the problem is it's a red momentum, so I put exit question mark here. You could exit if you want, but notice there's no other helper indicators, like it doesn't say D or B or anything. So anyways, we're still waiting to enter. We could have, and here is a blue triangle with a green, and it's above the trigger line, so that's a good enter point right there. So we would enter the next candle, which would be that one, and that starts our second green candle. Anyways, it's noticed that the second candle is about the same place as the line. In fact, I didn't even draw a line in there this time. It should be like that. There's the support line, resistance line, whatever. This would be support line. So, oh, I'm sorry. Remove. Support line goes where the doubles are, the double volumes. And this one is definitely above it, so we're all good. This is our enter point, so I started the next candle, the next green line. We're going along, and another double volume happens, but this is those black momentums instead of the green or red. So this is basically neutral. It's just sort of saying going sideways. And you notice that it kind of goes sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 more bars, and keeps on going back up. So to exit, we're looking for a blue volume with a red. In the meantime, we got another trigger situation. Um, but let's finish this. We have to finish out our current trade. And the first blue we see with the red is right here. We have a whole bunch of downs happening. So this is a good place to exit. And this trade is about 20 cents. So this is about 6 or 7%, 0.6 or 0.7% gain there. Now let's look at this trigger. We got two blue triangles and then a red one and another one. So what we have is really, you look at, basically this is an up trigger. And it's a little bit questionable where to draw the line, the resistance line. When you got 3 or 4 of them here, the first blue triangle starts here, the second there, and the third there. So do we draw it at the top, or do we draw it in the middle? And it's a little bit, maybe we draw it in the middle one, which is here. Nonetheless, this is the trigger, but the price never really, after this third triangle here, it just goes down and never comes back up. So we're waiting for it to go back up, and it never did. And now we got some more triggers. Notice that's black and red. This is saying it's going to go down. So and then we have another one that comes on there. It's black and red. So it says it's going down. So I just do this resistance line at the second set, coming across there. And we're waiting for the price to come above it. It finally gets, so we're not really sure if this is if this is just going sideways, or if it really is a downward trend. We got 2 downward double volumes in a row, but we can't really draw a trend line yet. It's kind of like from here to there, it looks like it's just going sideways. If it keeps on breaking down, then it's definitely a downward trend. But we're looking for the pullback. So if this is going down, it's going to come down and pull back, and then keep on going back down. And if you peek ahead, you'll see it doesn't pull back. So, but let's look at the indicators. When you're playing it real time, you don't know if it's going to happen. So, anyway, you're looking at the indicators. It went back here, and now we're waiting for it to get above this line, which it just did. And now, remember, for a downtrend, we wait. It broke. This is where we're at. It went down, broke above that line there, and now we're waiting for a blue triangle with a red momentum. So here it is, broken upon the line. And I say up here, if it is a downtrend, not just a sideways trend, we're waiting for the red momentum. So again, the price broke above the line, and we got a blue triangle, but it's a green momentum. Now we have another blue, but it's black, another blue, but it's black, and another blue, but it's green. So we haven't got any of the blue volume with red momentum. So it's probably obvious by now it's going sideways. See, it's started over here, just kind of going sideways. So we don't want to enter yet. Alright, so we're going along. Now we got 2 double volumes, a red and a green. Alright, so that's a legitimate trigger. We're in an uptrend. And second one comes here, and it's already going up. It didn't drop down at all, it just went up. And sure enough, we see a red, after the trigger we see a single blue triangle with a green momentum. That's our enter point right there. So we really won't be able to enter till the next candle, which is like right there. So we enter there. Now we're just looking for symbols to go down. First one just comes 2 bars later, and you got a blue with blue volume with a red momentum, which says it's going to go down. So you could exit here, and you would make just a few cents. Or it's not really. You could wait for a second confirmation. So we're going along, and we see a U. That tells us it's still going up. Going along, and we see these top things. That's kind of a good sign that says, hey, it's going to start going down. This is the top. And if we look up here, we see a blue triangle with red momentum. So that's our firmed up final exit. We got a maybe here, and then it's confirmed there. So this says get out, and we get out the next candle, which is right here. I could actually make that go a little bit higher. Activate. It's probably somewhere there. So in this trade, it went from 36 to 46. So it's only 10 cents. So this is like a 0.3% gain. It wasn't that much. But the good thing is we didn't lose anything. So far we've done 3 trades, made 1%, about a 0.7% and 0.3%. So we made 2% so far in 3 trades. Alright, so we've been going up, and now we get a red and a black, which is sort of saying going down, and now you can see that sure enough it went down, 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 down. But this is more or less a pullback down to this line here, this long-term trend line going up. And if you note that the momentum is down, but we're still in a long-term trend. To really make this a real true trigger point, we'd have to have the top row, which is a long-term trend, be red, and then this red momentum down here would be legit. So this is not really a legitimate trigger, so I'm just ignoring that. Now the next one that comes along is this one, right? And it goes red green, and we do have sort of a long downward trend. We're on an uptrend, so we're looking for an enter point, which the enter point would be okay. So here's the double volume. We draw a resistance line, support line, and this candle is our enter, and it's really close. See that blue triangle there? It's really close to this support line. So I'd say it's close enough. We enter. So we're going to enter the next candle, which is right there. That's the screen line enter. I got to adjust the screen again. Alright, so now that we've entered the fray, we're looking for a red momentum, blue volume, red momentum. And we legitimately could exit right here just a few bars later, but let's look for more confirmations, especially since we have a U here. My program puts this U here. It thinks that the volume's still going up, probably because this middle green triangle here is green. That's RSI. So we're not going to exit here. That's why I have exit question mark. We want to wait for confirmation. As we go up, notice there's green U's, and the first anything that looks negative is that one right there, the D. So that one might be an exit point. But let's look what's going on here. The next 2 blue ones we have black momentums. So that's kind of like neutral. There's no strong push to go up or down. So we're just going to hang in there. Here's the next ones are up here, and it's green and black, so that's all positive. Hang in there. This D here falls under a red triangle, which is like low volume, so it's like not even worry about it. And over here we got a green with a, so that's still going up, but the next one is red. And to me that seems like it's a legitimate exit point, and that's where I'm going to exit at here. If you want, you could wait a little bit more for a second confirmation, and you'll notice that here right by my mouse pointer you got a blue and a red, so that's a second confirmation. Let's just see all these T's in a row. My program thinks it's going to drop. You look at the candles, red, 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 and so this would be your second confirmation, your last chance to get out, which would, in this case, would be here. So your exit would be at this point right here, or that point right there. anyways, that was a pretty good gain, from like 45 to 84, 85, 40-cent gain. So that's good, legit 1% gain. So we're already at 4% for the day, and I think that's good enough for this video. I think you get the point. I did want to show you a reversal, and the reversals are pretty easy to spot, and if you ignore all the signs and get in, it's easy. They're easy to get out as well. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but so reversal is like this trend line is going down, and then it reverses and starts going up. All right. So like if you look at the top row, it's all red. So the long-term term is red, and then it's still red, and all of a sudden turns green. So it's reversed itself here. And anyways, you can see the long-term trend coming down like this, but right here, right there, it crossed over that downtrend and started heading up. So the first thing to notice is the trigger point, double blues, and then you have two blacks, momentum. So black momentum tells you it's going sideways. So that's what's happening here. It's going sideways. It stopped going down. Yeah, this is a pullback, right? But then it, anyway. So this kind of is a clue that tells you way ahead of time that this isn't just a normal pullback. That indeed it's starting to go sideways. It's not really an enter point. It's not really a trigger, but I call it a trigger. Let's say you made a mistake and thought this was a trigger. Well, second thing you'd have to look at is see how I draw this line in here. The program for a downtrend, when these two guys appear, it's supposed to go down and then come back up again, right? Well, when we look at this, we look at the reversal right here. If this really was a trigger, it would have kept on going down for a little bit and then come back up. But no, it went up. So that's two signs that told you it wasn't. I even draw the support line. I went back up, hit the trend line, and now we get a blue and a black. Not a blue and a red, but a blue and a black. Blue volume, black momentum. So the black, in order to enter, you would really actually have to have a blue and a red square, but we have blue and a black. So you won't even enter. But let's say you went and entered anyway. So so far you've made you made a whole bunch of mistakes. You've considered this as a trigger when it wasn't. The support line was here. The price didn't go down below the support line. So that tells you you're not doing the trend correctly. But you've missed that. 3, you entered here when it wasn't a red momentum but a black momentum. So you've made 3 mistakes. And now what happens? You get 2 blue triangles, volumes, and a green momentum and a black momentum. So this is saying a whole bunch of people are buying stock, and its stock price is going to go out. So you need to get out. So when that happens, you should get out. Your first chance to get out would be right there. So you should have gone out right. Let's see if I can do this. Right there. Right into that line. Right there. Get out. And even if you would have got out right there, you would have made a profit of a few cents. But you wouldn't have lost any money. So you made 3 mistakes, and you still would have made a profit. But let's say that you didn't get out here. You still think something's going to happen good. And now, look what happens. The price goes above your line here, and it breaks through the long-term trend line. Surely by this time, you would have realized your mistake, and you would have got out the next bar, which is right there. which was also a green. So you got in here. So you would have had a few cents loss. After 4 or 5 mistakes, you still would have had a 4 or 5 cents loss, which isn't bad after making 4 or 5 mistakes and only coming away with 4 cents loss. So, anyways, that's my uptrend lecture.